The Russia-Ukraine war, one of the largest-scale conflicts of the 21st century, has recently seen the surprising involvement of a special unit from the North Korean army. According to international sources, particularly the New York Times, the North Korean military has officially engaged in combat with Ukrainian forces in the CIS region of Russia. This marks the first time that North Korean forces have directly participated in a large-scale conflict outside their national borders, something that has caught the international community off guard. On November 4th, Andrei Kovalenko, head of the Center for Countering Disinformation within Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, announced that North Korean forces in the CIS region had suffered casualties. However, he did not provide specific details regarding the combat situation. In an interview with the New York Times, a senior Ukrainian official stated that the clash between North Korean forces and Ukraine was limited in scale. The official speculated that the fighting could be aimed at testing weaknesses in Ukraine's defense system. He also revealed that North Korean forces were fighting in coordination with Russia's 810th Independent Marine Brigade in the confrontation. In his nightly address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that North Korean forces had officially engaged in combat in the CIS region of Russia. He called for assistance from Ukraine's international allies to counter this new threat. Despite the fact that North Korean forces have not yet provided a significant advantage for Russia, Ukrainian outlets have used the rising tensions to call for the removal of any restrictions on military actions by Kyiv. With the deployment of North Korean forces, all restrictions should be lifted so that Ukraine can defend its territorial sovereignty. This comes amid the reality that Putin's Russia has imported weapons from North Korea, which could be used to strike anywhere in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the United States and the entire West remain hesitant to allow the Ukrainian military to target deep within Russian territory, further depriving Ukraine of an equal footing in the fight against Russian aggression. According to the New York Times, the North Korean forces in the CIS region are part of a contingent of approximately 10,000 soldiers that Ukraine and the West believe North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has sent to Russia to assist the Russian military in repelling Ukrainian attacks. Currently, Ukraine controls an area of about 250 square miles, over 647 square kilometers, in the CIS region, after launching a cross-border attack in August this year. It is known that North Korean soldiers arrived at the port of Vladivostok in Russia's Far East last month, then traveled about 4,000 miles west to the CIS region. A senior Ukrainian official revealed that the North Korean forces in the CIS may engage in combat in the coming days, with most of the soldiers divided into two groups. One group will be tasked with offensive operations, while the other will focus on supporting and defending the territories that Russian forces have reclaimed. U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Patrick Ryder also stated that officials estimate there are between 11,000 and 12,000 North Korean troops in Russia, and that Kiev is authorized to act against them. We have seen media reports about alleged combat activities by North Korea, and we are reviewing those activities, General Ryder told reporters in a Pentagon press briefing. At this time, we cannot verify those reports, but as you heard Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin say last week, if these forces participate in combat operations against Ukraine, they will become legitimate military targets. The presence of North Korean forces has sparked considerable debate among Ukraine and its allies regarding the goals and implications of their involvement. Some believe Russia wants to demonstrate to the world that it is not isolated, thereby weakening Western resolve. Additionally, support from North Korea may help Russia concentrate its forces on offensives in Ukraine, particularly in the Donbass region, where Russia is trying to secure control before the harsh winter sets in. However, challenges for North Korean forces on the front lines are anticipated. The UK government has speculated that Russian and North Korean troops fighting together in Ukraine may encounter difficulties in collaborating effectively. In a social media post, the UK's Ministry of Defense stated that the Russian and North Korean forces in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, are almost certain to face issues with interoperability, as they have not previously conducted joint military exercises. Additionally, a senior fellow at the Asia Policy Center at the Brookings Institution in Washington, D.C., noted that while North Korean troops are being trained at Russian military facilities in the Far East, language, cultural, training, and tactical differences may hinder the effectiveness of North Korean forces until they can better coordinate with Russian units. South Korean intelligence reported that they have no information to support claims of North Korean casualties on the front lines. However, they noted that North Korean forces are likely to face challenges due to unfamiliar terrain and differing warfare methods. The war is currently being conducted with extensive use of drones, but North Korean forces have not been provided with drones or appropriate training. Therefore, substantial casualties are expected. Despite threats and warnings from Western media about North Korean troops, there appears to be increasing pressure around their presence on the Ukrainian battlefield. Currently, both Russia and North Korea are responding in a similar manner, neither confirming nor denying reports of North Korean soldiers supporting Moscow. Russian ambassador to the United Nations, Vasily Nebenzia, questioned on October 30th the right of Western allies to support Ukraine, asserting that if the West has the right to aid Kyiv, then Russia's allies, including North Korea, have the right to assist Moscow. North Korea's involvement in this war not only raises questions about Moscow's military and diplomatic strategy, but also about the broader geopolitical impacts this development could have. Under Kim Jong-un's leadership, North Korea has long maintained a firm international stance with an assertive approach to security issues. Deploying troops to Russia to assist Moscow against Kyiv indicates that North Korea is seeking new opportunities to assert its influence and expand its international relations amid global instability. The official participation of North Korean forces in combat with Ukraine also affirms the allied stance of Russia and North Korea against Western nations. The presence of North Korean troops in the CIS region sends a clear message that Pyongyang will not back down from international pressure and is willing to intervene militarily when it benefits its allies. In response to this new development, Ukraine has made strong statements. In his nightly address, President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized that North Korea's intervention opens a new chapter of global instability. He urged Ukraine's allies to increase support in response to the escalation from Russia and its partners. The involvement of North Korean soldiers in the CIS conflict has raised concerns that Russia is building a military alliance of non-Western nations. Some Ukrainian officials believe that Moscow intends to signal it is not isolated internationally, thereby weakening Western resolve in supporting Ukraine. Not only Ukraine, but also Kyiv's Western allies are surprised and concerned. Some NATO officials view this as a significant escalation by Russia that could complicate the situation in Eastern Europe. These nations are exploring response strategies to prevent unforeseen consequences that might arise from the Russia-North Korea alliance. One of the most noteworthy developments has been Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent actions. According to British media, Putin held a direct meeting with North Korean Foreign Minister Choi Son-hui at the Kremlin. Though the meeting was not on the official schedule, the lengthy handshake lasting over a minute symbolized friendship and emphasized the importance Moscow places on its relationship with North Korea amidst the ongoing Ukraine conflict. North Korea's involvement in the Ukraine conflict not only impacts regional dynamics, but also has the potential to reshape the global geopolitical landscape. The moves by North Korea and Russia signal the emergence of a new front, as nations like Russia, North Korea, and China increasingly show strong cooperation to counter Western pressure. In the current climate, the alignment between Russia and North Korea could lead to significant changes in international alliances. For the United States and its allies, this event poses a substantial challenge, as it indicates the potential formation of a military alliance opposed to NATO and the West. North Korea's readiness to deploy forces abroad to support its partners also sends a strong message to its adversaries that it will not hesitate to protect its interests, even if that means resorting to military force. President Putin's decision to arrange this unscheduled meeting with the North Korean foreign minister further underscores the deepening strategic partnership between Moscow and Pyongyang. These developments raise significant questions about the future of the Russia-North Korea alliance and its impact on the future global order.